up, Baggies fans, football fans, and sports fans, to the latest match day review. And it is unfortunately heartbreak at the end for us Baggies fans. We did so well in the Leicester game. It feels like a loss more than anything. If you'd have had to me at the start of the day, take a point, you would have done. But to be leading so far into the game and to concede an own goal in the 93rd minute, it just feels so crushing. Before we get into the full match day breakdown, make sure you like this video. Let's aim for 30 likes on the video. Leave a comment, let me know your thoughts. Obviously, this week's going to be a very tight week, so we've got Leicester on Wednesday night, which I'll be doing a live stream for. The match day review will be coming out Tuesday for that one. Then obviously the live stream. Then I'll be doing a game week breakdown and predictions. And then obviously on Saturday we've got Millwall, so Friday will be my match day preview for that one as well. And make sure you subscribe as well. We are well on our way to 700 subscribers now. We're just 20 off. So smash that subscribe button, hit the bell notification to stay up to date with everything we're doing on the channel. And let's hope we hit that 1K before the end of the year. That is the goal. So make sure you smash that subscribe button. And let's get into it. And it is, as I say, it hurts. It feels less like a point gained, more like 2 points lost, because we were so close, minutes away from beating one of the best sides in the league. And a 93rd own minute goal snatches it away. Now, I know before the game, as I said, a lot of us would have probably taken a draw. Leicester is stacked with talent. Some of the best wingers in the division, Fatawu, Mavididi, and then they bring the players off the bench like Daka and Monga, who can change a game instantly. On paper, they should have dominated us. But this is where we really kept them quiet. We defended superbly, and we looked more good for a value for a win. So let's go back to the first half. Early doors was a bit of a scare. IU breaks the offside trap. He's through on goal. And luckily, he misses the target. We almost conceded straight away, and you could feel the nerves in the ground from that moment on. But credit to the lads, after that shaky start, we settled into the rhythm of the game. We got our shape, and we started keeping Leicester at arm's length, denying them clear opportunities. They put balls into the box. You know, they were getting on the end of the balls, but nothing really was happening for them. They were outside the box shots that were going over. We were keeping them at bay, and it's absolutely fantastic. I had the ball short, but they weren't hurting us with it. You know, every time they tried to play through the lines, we had an answer. The back four stayed organised, the midfield pressed at the right moments, and you could slowly see our confidence growing into the game. Now, obviously, Charlie Taylor was brought in for his first appearance. And what a first appearance to have, unfortunately. You're up against probably one of the best wingers in the league and one of the quickest wingers. And he did get beat a fair few times, but to credit to him, when the ball come into the box from his side, he was there in front of his man. And he kept him quiet, really, apart from obviously when he got round him, but he didn't really have anything come from it. Campbell on the right, again, very good game defensively. I do think he struggles going forward, and I think that's possibly where we lose a little bit of balance in the side. Taylor was fantastic going forward. He was overlapping Johnson and really did really well down that left side. And that left side was fantastic for us. Now, obviously, the right side, I do think we need to tweak a little bit, but one of those things. It's Mason absolutely got it right for me in this game. He made those tweaks and changes that we needed from the Borough game, and we looked very good. And as I said, we could slowly see that confidence growing, and then a bit of magic from us. And what a goal it was. Heggebo does brilliantly to flip the ball on, hold it up, and then on comes iling-junior onto it. And wow, the run, the composure, the finish, that was top class. For me, it's a goal of the month contender, hands down. You know, he sits 2 or 3 Leicester players down. He's got 2 on him, and he slots into the bottom right corner with ease, you know. And it was almost like a moment of, hang on a second, we've got a player on our hands here. And it almost lifted the crowd up to the next level. And, you know, we could see that the team wanted to win this game and were on the front foot after that. You know, Leicester, don't get me wrong, they're going to be up there. They're one of the best teams on the ball. The way they move the ball, they're so quick at doing it, and they could spin any team in a heartbeat. So we couldn't push too many forward, but when we did get forward, we looked scary. You know, we looked like a team that completely different from the Borough game, and it's great to see. Obviously, we're going at half-time 1-0 up, and I'm thinking, okay, let's not sit back, let's build on it. And to be fair, in the second half, that's exactly what we tried to do. We didn't park the bus, we kept playing our way, and we did have chances to put the game to bed. Madger, Collier, you know, you'd have put your house on Madger to finish that towards the end of the second half. And unfortunately, the real frustration for me, we didn't take those opportunities. And against a team like Leicester, you've got to kill them off when you can, because you don't always know what they got in the tank. And one last push from Leicester, and look what happens. Ball goes into the box, you know, it lands at Deke over Reed's feet, and he smashes it back across goal, and it just pings off Nat Phillips and into the back of the net. And again, one of those, it could go absolutely anywhere. You know, it could hit off Phillips and go out for a corner, hit Phillips and go away from goal. but it just hits him and flies into the back of the net. And again, as a striker, the one thing you want to do, hit the ball hard into the ground, cross the face of goal while there's loads of players in there, because it's just going to cause a scramble, and it did. And it was so, so cruel to have that goal conceded. It was just, you know, it genuinely does feel like points dropped rather than a point earned for me. And that's saying something against Leicester. To go into that game and say that we've lost points, at the start of the day, a lot of Albion fans would have taken a point. A big positive for me in this game, which compared to Middlesbrough, was Mason. I criticised him heavily after the Borough game because we set up all wrong. We set up defensively, we waited too long to make changes. But here you could see he learned from that mistake. We were organised but not passive. We were brave in possession, and the subs made sense. He got it right today, and that's encouraging. The one thing that possibly changed the game a little bit for me was when Johnson come off on the left side and we brought Styles on. I thought that would be great for Styles to play further forward. But it's almost like we had two left backs playing. We seem to lose that left flank a little bit. And so maybe, Styles needs a bit more persuading to play that left mid role and needs a bit more, knowledge in it. But he does really well play midfield for Hungary. So you thought he'd grab that opportunity, but he just looked way too deep for me. When we were getting, Charlie Taylor was getting the ball, there was nobody down that left flank. Whereas when Johnson was on the ball, he could find Johnston and then Johnson could make a darting run or find another pass. One of the other annoying things for me, and I'm going to mention it because it at the moment in the game, it really annoyed me, and that was the ref getting in the way. Johnson had picked the ball up. Iling-junior was making a breaking run. He was free. He was onside free. He was going to run through. He could have squared it or anything. And we hit the ball, and the ref runs across the front to Johnston. Now, the state of the referee in this game as well was awful from minute one to the end. And I'm not just saying that for the Albion. He was awful for Leicester as well. Both teams had terrible decisions go. And surely as a referee, not to run across the front to play. Johnson's running inside. He's going to be hitting it that way if possible. Why run across the front of him? Just hold back, watch him at the ball, and then go forward with it. And I think that's, as I said, the state of EFL reffing this year has just been so, so poor for us. Leicester should have been down to 10 men as well. One of their players elbowed ours in the face. The referee even made the gesture that he'd elbowed him and didn't give him anything, didn't give him a talking to, just give us a free kick. And you sit there thinking, well, he's just elbowed him and you've seen that he's elbowed him. That's a red card. You can't elbow people. But, we can't dwell on refs. Refs have cost us in the Portsmouth game. And again, it looks like the ref has had a stinker here for us. And they really do need help, the refs in this league. They're so, so bad. Obviously, I say it finishes 1-1. It feels like a defeat. The players knew it as well. You could see it in their faces at full time. We'd done the hard work. We'd kept Leicester big threats quiet. We'd scored a stunning goal. And we were seconds away from one of the best wins in the season. Instead, we walk away with just a point. Now, let's not be too negative. There's plenty of positives to take from this game. We've proved we can go toe-to-toe with one of the best sides in the division. We've proved we can defend as a unit and still create chances. Iling-junior looks a star. Heggebo is growing in confidence. And again, as much as Madger is fantastic when he comes on, he doesn't do the job that Heggebo does. Heggebo can hold all the ball a lot better than Madger, but I would like to see the two of them in the same team together because I think those two together would be absolutely fantastic for us. And it shows that Mason can adapt and learn from his previous mistakes, and that's the big thing for me. Mason can grow into this team and can be a fantastic manager for us. He's not gone from the Borough game and gone, well, I'm going to stick with that because that's what I think's best. He's looked at the game and gone, that's my mistake. I've held my hands up. I'm going to make some changes for the Leicester game. And we've gone at it and attacked him. But at the same time, it is okay to feel gutted because the late goal robbed us of what would have been a massive statement win. And if we want to push on this season, we've got to turn performances like that into wins. So overall, brilliant effort, brilliant goal, and lots of positives, but also a reminder of how the fine margins are in football. One lapse, one unlucky bounce, and the result completely changes. Hopefully the lads use this frustration as fuel going into the next game, because if we play like that every week, we'll win far more than we'll lose. On to Norwich on Wednesday, and let's see how we get on. See you all there.